Welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you guys here, especially on this momentous day. We hope that you guys have had a fantastic digital learning day, full of digital learning, obviously. But we're really excited to have you back for our VSTE in Action Demo Slam. The VSTE in Action Demo Slams are a one of I think it's one of the best things that the one of our best events that I think the Education Committee, the VSTE Education Committee does. If you have not signed up to participate, there is still time. Tina will put that in the chat for you, but there's also the QR code. We will take one or two more on, anyone who wants to sign up to share your digital tool or your something you're excited about that for digital learning. VSTE has been is a long-term organization all about innovation and learning, technology, but it's always centered in deep learning and really kind of engaging students in deeper ways using technology and tech enhanced lessons. So if you're not familiar with the VSTE Education Committee, we invite you to be familiar. With the VSTE Education Committee advocates for and advances best practices and effective methods in teaching with technology. And if you want to learn more, we would and join us because we're always looking for new members and the energy and different ideas to bring to the table there. You can learn more at VSTE.org and you can click on the education committees and learn more about what we do. And then while you're there, you can look at some of the other awesome committees that VSTE has and see if there's something that maybe you want to get involved there. Any VSTE member can join a committee, so you don't have to be on the board of directors. You can just join us and be a committee member. All right, so you all are here tonight for this wonderful showdown. So we're gonna go over the rules just for a second because any good contest has to have some ground rules. Number one, contestants only have 5 minutes to pitch. So we used to have three. We're going to give you five because we know how awesome the technology is, and we want to be sure that you have time to showcase your tool or idea. You have to have some visuals, so our panelists can share their screens, and that you can either use live screenshots or a live demo. That's up to you. Um, this is a friendly competition, so absolutely no negative comments about any other entry. This is friendly, and we're all about positivity and sharing new ideas. All right, so remember at the end, we're going to have a place for you. Our panelists can actually add their thoughts and their ideas, but also our participants, if you're not scheduled to present tonight, or maybe something like prompts while you see someone else presenting, you can also share your ideas on the resources and ideas page that here's the QR code and we have the link for that. We'll also share that at the end, so don't worry. And Tina will be awesome and she'll send that out to all of you at the end for us to add all the awesome resources that were shared tonight, but also any that you also want to share. So we're really excited. Are our participants ready? We'll get to the good stuff. Are we ready, ready, ready? All right. I'm going to stop sharing here.
And just so the participants know, I'll start the timer and I'll run it for it'll go for 5 minutes. But if you all are good, I'll give you a 30 seconds heads up. Is that good? Just so you know. So I'll just jump in and say 30 seconds and then you can finish up. You can wrap up. I'm so excited to hear what you have to share.
Awesome. So first up on our list, we have Anna Bayless is going to share with us is Octa Studio. So Anna, take it away.
Hi. So go ahead and share my screen.
Excellent. Go ahead, and I won't start the timer until your screen is up and shared and you're ready.
All right, I can do that. Sharing is not turned on. Sending request.
That would be a problem. Let's see.
Should be good to go now. Try again, please.
That's looking good. Thank you. All right. Should I start my 5?
Yep, you're ready.
All right. I am a LTI, which is like an ITRT, a tech teacher in Albemarle County. And I love Scratch and Scratch Junior, but it's been a bit. And it just doesn't have the ocular pat down that the kids need, that kind of drive by when they look at an app and go, oh, I would really, what's going on over there? Octo Studio is made by the same MIT group. And I think they just really curated what are the things kids love, like to incorporate, and they've really done some good thinking about where our kids' needs are. So I'm going to highlight some of my favorite pieces of Octo Studio, starting with a little game I made with some second grade friends. There's lots of different things you can do. This is a little chasing game where my ghost has to catch the strawberry for a point, but if it touches the hedgehog, I'm going to lose all the points. And you do incorporate sounds in here, probably not going very well through Zoom. Oh, you can hear him chomping. Not a long lesson, super exciting. And the kids who made that one got so excited that they're going to make a little arcade for their book buddies in kindergarten to come do and set up games for them. One of my favorite features is that it's so easy to stretch. So if a kiddo is comfortable, they can add more features. So what is it? It's an app. It works on Apple products or Android. Kind of like if you've used Blockly or Scratch. It has color-coded block coding, which is really helpful for some of our visual learners. I do find if I have students who have colorblind accommodations that I do make a poster for them and just point out where each one is. It's something I've really noticed is important. But very much like Scratch, it's got your basic sections, but it's got a little bit more. And one of their smartest moves to get kids interested in coding is to use a lot of the standard emoji that they see all the time in their daily life. So if they love that avocado emoji, they can use it. Or I haven't done a big dig. I wonder if the poop emoji's in there. Probably if they did their homework right. It's got 30 built-in backgrounds, which is more than usual, but it's also super easy to incorporate photographs or drawings or anything else they can dream. It's got a draw feature and it's also got a camera feature. Here's another little one I made just today. Took me about 5 minutes. This is my daughter when she was much younger. I could cry. I took it inside. You can pull in a photograph. You can outline. And then this is just a picture of me not able to go to the grocery store, and we had peanut butter and jelly during all the snow. And I sent my dad a picture. I'll play it one more time. So this one has the glow feature. It does say I prefer grape too. You can do, you can record your voice. You can use the text to speech. I also put speech bubbles, and it's a really good chance to talk with the kids about, are you going to be able to reach all your viewers? Here's some of the things I love about it. Not over something else. I just love the additions. It's super easy to export to an MP4 and share. That can be a problem with some other platforms. So if you're using Seesaw and they want to show it to their grownups, they can pop it in there, put it just right in their photo library. And the exporting is pretty streamlined and quick, which I really appreciate. Sometimes I love things like Toontastic, but it can take a minute. This is pretty darn quick. If they are using a phone, you can add the flashlight feature, and they can turn on the flashlight if they're just telling a story that has lightning effects. That also uses the tilt and the shake. So that first ghost game where they were catching the strawberry, a child actually holds the iPad flat and tilts it. And my goodness, so much fun. In fact, today when I was just getting a little footage, there was a young man walking the hallways with someone who walks with him having a day. And I said, could you test out my game for me? And when you get to 10 points, then you can go about what you were doing. And this is a child who's not always ready to learn, but he was ready to try this out and take a peek at the coding. Lots of really good simple pictures for our EL learners or for kids who need accommodations. I appreciate how they use the different shoes and the lightning bolts, and they're pretty easy to unpack with a kid. They have a really wonderful reference guide. There aren't going to be a lot of kids who are going to nerd out over the reference guide like I will, but I find that if I have a couple copies printed, then they will gravitate towards it and kind of dig through it and find some of the more complicated blocks. I haven't tried the beam to phone Bluetooth yet, but it's really neat. Like you could do a tennis game back and forth between the two, or rock, paper, scissors. They have a lot of good tutorials on their site. You might recognize Zoe from the Scratch team. She's wonderful. I love everything she puts out. I do entrance tickets, and there's a link to it. They have kind of an I do, you do, we do. Those are just things I've made and you're welcome to play with. And then I'll put it in the chat, but here's the bit.ly to all of it. It is too much fun. You're going to play with it on your free time.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. That's so cool. I can't wait to try that out.
It's too much fun.
That's a new one for me. So excited.
Do you want me to pop those slides in the chat too? Is that just easier?
Yeah, you can do that. And then if you want to share on that resource page, you might have already put your stuff on that resource
Been there,
page.
done that, bought the t-shirt. Yeah, but I'll pop it in
Perfect.
there if that's just easier for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you. All right. That's fantastic. Okay, next up on our list is Katie and Micah. Are you ready? All right, they're going to
We're ready.
awesomeness here. So take it away.
Okay, let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, I'll give you a second to share before we start anything.
We've been practicing with 3 minutes, so that's about what we can fill up. So
That is totally fine. You don't have to go the whole 5 minutes.
what did I do?
Entire screen.
That one?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. So can you see my
Yeah.
slide though? Okay.
It looks good. You ready?
Yes.
All right, go for it.
We're so excited to be with you tonight to share with you about using audiobooks to increase reading. I'm Katie. I'm a reading specialist at Lee County Public Schools. I'm also Micah's mom.
And I'm Micah, a student at Wise County Public Schools, and we're learning how Libby helped me increase my reading level through self-accommodation.
We love Libby. I've always loved Libby, but he's learning to love it. We're going to tell you Micah's story. Micah's always been a good student. He's always made straight A's. He's just a very bright kid. But by 3rd grade, we began to notice he was having some reading difficulties. He was really struggling with some text, and I was picking up on some things that he was doing. And so we decided to go through the testing process. And by 4th grade, he had his IEP in place, and he was diagnosed with a specific disability in reading. And in education, we know that means dyslexia. So I knew we really had to work through things with him. And with the IEP in place, it really helped. He had a lot of accommodations that were really helpful. Of course, so we began working through things. In the beginning of 7th grade, he was given a diagnostic test in reading. I think it was the STAR test. I'm not sure. And he tested at a 4th grade reading level. And because I love reading so much, I'm a reading specialist. I read all the time. I use Libby to read my audiobooks and listen to them in the car. And we would go to the library and check out books. His sister loves to read, and she would check out books and go through all kinds of books. But he would struggle to get through just reading a book. So I decided that maybe we should try Libby using the audiobooks with his reading. We began with our local library, and they had quite a few audiobooks that were available to us. Then we found out, because of our proximity to Tennessee, we were able to use the Tennessee lending system, and there were quite a few more there. And then what happened?
Then we learned that Virginia Beach Public Library and Newport News Public Library, they were giving their card to anybody in the state. And me and where I live, Wise, which is it's pretty much the farthest way you can get from Virginia Beach and Newport News.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful that they were able to. They're giving me their card, and thankful for their wide options of books that I enjoy, and I really am thankful for that.
So he will use a book from the library and then use the audio book on Libby, and he's going to show you how he does that on his phone.
First, we get a book from the library, this case, Hatchet. Then we go
right there.
movie. And then we search up the book Hatchet. There you go. Then we find the audiobook, which has headphones under it, that one. Then you borrow it. Then you press the borrow button. But whenever the audiobook is reading to me, I follow along in the book. And if there's a word that I can't pronounce or I'm stuck on, it really helps me and pushes me, and it helps me to not get aggravated and really helps me a lot.
By using Libby in this way, he avoids a lot of frustration. It really helps with his fluency, and just a self-modification that's available there. It's just a great resource for him, and we've really enjoyed it. Oh, and then at the end of 7th grade, he tested again in the STAR test. Miss Stewart tested him again, and he tested. And what grade level did you test in?
A 9th grade reading level.
So it works. Practice makes perfect.
That's amazing. I love this story. Thank you so much for sharing. How exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That was wonderful. And
Yeah, me too. I had a few little tears. Really touched the heart there.
yes, and very exciting, very exciting. Okay, well, I feel bad now that Eric, because Erica, you really got to step up here because that was wonderful. All right, Erica, you're up next. Are you ready?
I am.
All right.
Micah, you're a rock star.
Absolutely.
I love that. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great things, and so are you, Mom. Let's see. All right. So I am talking about Class Companion today. And Class Companion is basically using AI to give instant feedback to students as they're writing. And so I love Class Companion. We are my school, I'm an ITC. So my school, we are doing we bought into the program, and we bought the program for our school. So I just clicked on their website. I didn't even log in, and I put, okay, I want to pretend I'm a 4th grader, and it gives me a passage about whales and then answering complete sentences. I wanted short questions. So as I'm playing with this, question 1 was the main purpose of the first paragraph in the passage, and I chose a STEM or an answer that would be correct. Because when you play around with it, you can see what's correct and what's not. When students are actually going into it, they're just writing as they normally would. But if for this purposes, we're just playing around. So I submitted my answer, and then I got instant feedback, which is very important. At my school, the history department is using this in combination with their PBAs. So they're writing a lot. They go ahead and write the rough draft, and then they put the rough draft into Class Companion, and it gives the feedback to them. And then they use that feedback to fine tune and edit their essays. But anyway, so my question score is correct. There's a rubric attached to this, and it says, great job. You used complete sentence and explained the purpose of the first paragraph. And then my second question, I made sure it was incorrect. And it gives me some tips, try to use complete sentences that provide more detail, how they behave, think about how they move, breathe, and interact with each other. And then remember to use proper grammar and write in complete sentences. And it gives you an example. And then I did another incorrect one. And again, it gives me tips. Now, what I want to show you also is that, well, I'll show you the insights first. As a teacher, this is some of the insights that I get. I get the average score. What is the average time a student is spending on these prompts? Average attempts. You can put as many attempts as you want on it. And then you can also enable or disable a AI tutor to help your students. If your student needs some extra support, they can chat with the AI tutor. And then we have Ron Weasley and Hermione, and we can see how they're doing. Now, notice over here it has flags. You can see whether your students are pasting from one document to another. So it may be a conversation you want to have with them. Maybe they're writing in a doc. It's not true like plagiarism or anything like that. But it gives you a little flag over here. Also, if a student disputes what their grade is or the feedback that AI gives, they can go ahead and say, I'm disputing this, and this is why. They have to always tell why they're disputing it. And so then the teacher can look at it and say, oh, I understand what you're saying. You know, I think AI got it wrong. And the teacher can change that if they want. And then it gives you a breakdown of everything that was answered. And then also you can, with all the writing, you can link a rubric to it. So it's grading it too, along with it. And then I'll show you the rubric for this. And it's something simple. It must use complete sentences. It's factual, answers the questions fully. You can print the rubric to share with your students. You can share a link. You can clone and edit for another assignment. And then you can also differentiate according to your students' needs. I have put that in the slide deck because there's so many things in here that I can't possibly go over in the time that I have. You can see as the submissions are coming in, what they're looking like. And then also for me as a former English teacher, it was so important for that immediate feedback. And this gives you the immediate feedback so kids are empowered. And also it allows them to take a risk in their writing because no one's going to sit there and they're not doing it in front of everyone. And there's an AI that can help them through the
30
writing process,
seconds.
which can be very daunting. But anyway, that's all that I have for you today. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Erica.
Awesome.
Tell you tonight we're on fire. Like it's amazing when we have tools that, I mean, you know, as much as technology as all of us deal with usually in our daily lives, when you have these demo slams and you see all this new stuff that I've never seen, and the way that they're being used, I mean, it's like it's just amazing. So thank you so much, Erica, for sharing. All right. Did Julie come into? I don't know if we did or not, but Katie, we're going to go ahead and let you. You're going to go next if you're ready, and we're excited to see what Katie has to share with us. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Of course, of course. Thanks for having me. Of course, if you know me and you know what I talk about, I always talk about accessibility and making classrooms inclusive. So that's what I'm going to share with you tonight as well. And so I'm going to share with you 5 inclusive features in Book Creator that you may or may not know about. And I just want to also shout out our webinars that we have coming up because we are having one with Class Companion. So if you want to kind of, after what Erica just shared, if you're really excited about that and you want to know more, I'll put a link in the chat and you can register for that webinar. But the first thing that makes our Book Creator really inclusive is student choice. And so we really want to empower students to answer and respond in the ways that are best for them. So students can come to the plus sign and they can respond with images. They can use the camera to record themselves and speak aloud. They can use the recording feature and record their voice as well and just use audio to respond. They can use the pen tool to draw, and they can use text. And in our text tool, they can even do speech to text. So they can write the book by speaking into their computer. There we go. And they can also do that in 137 of their maybe home languages. So if you have a newcomer student coming into your classroom, they've just arrived from Afghanistan, like I did in my last year's coaching, we can select Urdu. Oh, it's written in Urdu, so I can't read it. But they can select that, they can speak into the computer in their language, and then they can translate it to English, or you later as the teacher can translate it to English. So really welcoming our newcomer students with the power of language. The next thing is captioning and transcripts. So for all that video and the audio that students create, they can transcribe or record it. So if I want to come in here and record some audio, I can record some audio with the directions for today's assignment. I can put this in on my book, and I can right click after it processes for a second, and I can add a transcript to it, and it will generate automatically that transcript. And on the next page is where we can really take that transcription to the next level. So I'm going to copy that. And on the next, I can record some audio with the direct. Perfect. We're talking about translation. So if I have that audio button again, I can right click it and translate it after I've made that transcription to a whole lot of languages. And I can even, there's 2 Spanishes, for instance. We want to pick the US Spanish because most of our students are from Central America and use the US Spanish. I can pick some different voices.
Esta es una muestra de grabación.
And I can translate that audio. So again, if I have a newcomer student and I've read my directions into audio, I can quickly translate it so that they and maybe their parents as well supporting them at home can understand the directions. I also really like to take this button and change the color of it. So maybe my English speakers always know they're going to click purple, and my Spanish speakers always know they're going to click blue. And then if I want to translate it again into Arabic, I can pick a 3rd color or a 4th color or a 5th color for whatever students I have in my class. And I can just really give everyone what they need when I'm designing my lesson all up front with just a few clicks of the button. And we also have read mode. So up in the top corner, a student can have a book read to them with the read mode feature. They can change some settings like the speed and the language if they want. But I will just hint to you that coming soon, maybe next week, we'll have read mode right here within the edit mode. So when students click on text, there'll be a new little button right here that will read the text aloud. So I never said that tonight, but coming soon. And the last thing is publishing. So really something that we find powerful is, an engaging, and part of that UDL framework, if you're familiar with it, is that engagement piece and giving students authentic experiences in the classroom. And so students can publish their books online and share them. And so what that means is they can publish their book, they can give a link to it, they can share it with friends and family at home. And when people read it, they get to see this cool analytic map of where their books have been read. So we have teachers all the time sharing on social media or in our Facebook group, oh, hey, my class made this book. I'd love for you guys to read it around the world. And they can see then that someone has read their book, they're a published author, and really have that authentic experience.
30 seconds.
No problem. And the last thing I'll just shout out is Be an Author Month starts March 5th. We're starting it now, releasing it now. I've linked it in the document, and it's a competition for students to write personal narratives, and there are prizes. So we'd love to have students participate this year. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I don't know about you all, but this is going to be a hard vote. Like I'm just trying to think, wow.
I have good news though.
What?
So Katie doesn't want to participate for a prize, which means we have 3 people. So everyone is going to be a winner tonight, which is so awesome. And I think really we should just vote for our top person because that's the $50 gift card, and then the other 2 can get the $25 gift card. What do you think?
I think that's fantastic. I think yes. So it's time to vote.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to share my screen here and go back into presentation mode here eventually. And it is definitely time to vote.
All right. I'm going to launch the poll.
All right.
Are we ready for that? Yeah, we are. Okay,
Yeah.
Here we go.
While you all are voting, I'm going to talk a little bit about some other awesome things that are going on in the VSTE world. Number one, if you're not already subscribed to the Activated Learning podcast, listen and subscribe now. We've got a new episode coming next week, but there's season 2 is well underway with some fantastic episodes. We've got the one that we filmed live at VSTE, which Tina and I were very excited to be a part of the audience there. And if you haven't listened to that one, Delrose was fantastic. And then I got a little birdie told me that the one coming up for next week will be Rochelle Denis Post. So Tom came to TechSplash and did that one for us. So if you're not a subscriber, absolutely be one because it's really such an impactful podcast. And then if you're not already registered for the Leading Ed Forum, that's coming up on March 13th, and we really are excited to have our leadership from around the Commonwealth coming and joining. It's a fantastic day of sharing ideas, lots of information from the Department of Ed, and then VSTE World, and then all of the things, all the issues that we're dealing with in our schools, and the innovations that are going on throughout the Commonwealth are shared, and it's just a fantastic day of learning and sharing and collaboration. So if you haven't registered for the Leading Ed Forum, please, you can go to VSTE.org and find all that information. And speaking of other VSTE things, while you're there, subscribe to the VSTE calendar, because you can add that to your Google Calendar and you can see what's going on in the world of VSTE, whether it be the organizational things, but all of our events and things are also listed here as well. So lots of good things to be able to add that to your calendar. While you are while you're there, and if you're also, you can find us on the VSTE resources under our YouTube channel, VSTE Video, or you can actually find our EdTech Reels also at the Go Open VA. So they're co-listed there, so you can find some great resources and find EdTech Reels. We are very fortunate. A lot of our past Demo Slam contestants have allowed us to use some of their segments to add to our EdTech Reels. So if you missed a previous Demo Slam, you can go back and watch those and learn even more. So that's all available there at our YouTube channel, or you can get to that through our VSTE.org. All right, do we have a winner? Do we have a winner, Tina?
Yes, sorry. I was trying to get back to the right screen. Yes, we have a winner.
Okay.
Drum roll. We've got to get those sound effects. Drum roll. Our winner for our $50 gift card is Katie and Micah. Yay! And then Erica and Anna, you guys get $25 gift cards to Amazon. So yay! Everyone wins.
Yay! We do have.
And then a big thank you to Katie for presenting just to present.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you guys, everybody tonight. I mean, like I said, every time we come to one of these, I know we get excited. We kind of we produce these at the VSTE Demo Slams, but I don't know about you, Tina. I learned more probably than anybody from these, so I love just being a part of it.
I always walk away with a bunch of new ideas.
Me too, and I hope you guys have also done the same thing. So we'll have all those resources shared out with you. For sure, add more resources yourself if want to share something for Digital Learning Day, because I know I saw a lot of those names over there in the attendees list. That there are some awesome faces in the VSTE world. So we hope that we'll see you as a presenter in our next Demo Slam. Just some other little tidbits here. Shameless plug. I will tell you this, shameless plug, because the Tech Splash conference is coming up in July, and the call for presentations is open now. So, we drop those in there. I'm looking at you, some of our presenters tonight. Wink, wink. That would make some awesome presentations for Tech Splash. So we really, really appreciate you. Another thing we want you to do before you leave is we want to give your feedback. We want to know what would you like to see for a future VSTE Demo Slam, or any other education committee content that you'd like to see us bring to our membership. So take a moment to give us some feedback there. We really appreciate it. And man, this was a good night of sharing. This is a perfect way of celebrating Digital Learning Day, for sure. All right. I always feel like we need like an outro song, and we need like
we really do need sound effects.
Yeah, for sure.
And some music.
All right.
We do appreciate everybody coming, and we'll share out information just like Heather said.
Yes. All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Another great Demo Slam is in the books. Yep. So we'll see you next time. Watch your email and watch for the VSTE newsletter, and you always go to VSTE.org and see what's going on on the VSTE calendar. So we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Night.